The problem that has happened for us is that, first of all, the spiritual law that we've broken, that the Most High commanded us to do as a people. He's commanded all groups of people to do certain things, but I can only speak for us. And what he's told us to do was to not have other gods before him, right? So once you have other gods, or you have other things that you refer to or you look to as being the importance or the reason for being, i.e. materialism, that's what then perpetuates and fuels and complicates and compounds and creates that volume of killing that has happened over long periods of time. So if you take it back to when the inbred fighting amongst us, whether it be in different tribal groups, the Ashantis versus the Fantis, or the Hutsis, the Tutsis, or this group versus that group, Ugandas versus this group, that wars that was happening internally, then outsiders coming in on top of that to help with the divide and conquer, as they call it, then being stripped from your natural habitat into another space, you're all mixed up now, right? So after you've been mixed up for so long, you now come into a new land that is not your own. You've came from already chaotic situations internally. Now you're outside of your natural habitation. Now you're having to struggle to fight with limited resources. So what happens after a while, over time, that becomes the new normal. So now you have no regard for anything that's valuable, and your value is now set on things that are not real, or it's physically here, but it doesn't amount to life. Life is the most valuable thing we have. That's why I like when the interviewer asked Bob Marley, "You have all these riches." He said, "What riches?" "My riches is life." Because if you don't have life, then having your cars or whatever you have that is material, it means nothing. If you can't use it, if you can't exploit it, right? So this perpetual state of brokenness is coming, is just replicating itself. And unfortunately, the way it happens is in a compound way, because the way the Most High made it, it usually goes for 3 to 4 generations. So if you do something and you did it, then like my boy Zoe Black said in his song, if my mama had it and my grandma has it, that means I probably had that issue, y'all. So you can see, like, people who gangbang, they usually, their great grand OG was in it, and they uncles was in it, and their grandfather was in it. So it's passed down. So what happens as wickedness increases, the level of wickedness increases, your bondage to those particular bloodlines or practices or ways of being, you don't know any different. Going to jail becomes what? Institutionalization.